Hello, Tiana.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, 1 second.
I'm waiting.
I'm outside. It's a little hard to see me.
That's okay, don't worry. Hi, guys. I see this.
Hey.
Well, here I'm just waiting till, I'm gonna wait till 9:30 so I give everyone time to come. Hey, Rami.
Oh,
Uh,
by the way, sorry about the email. Basically, I didn't get the first email, so I thought you were talking about the test because I had the
I
test
was like
scheduled
so
for
confused
2:30.
when you saw your email, but it's okay. I looked at it, it was fine. Figured it out, no
My bad on that
problem.
one.
I know that not everyone knew exactly why I decided to do this. I just felt like there are so many things going on. Everyone has so many questions, and I just, email only goes so far. I'm much more of a phone person. All of you who do know me know that. It's much easier for me to talk on the phone than it is on email. So I just decided this was the easier way for me to give any answers that everyone needed and to try to give information, whatever information I have. And that way, instead of tons of emails and tons of back and forth, we could kind of just get things out there in the open for everyone. I'm opening up the chat so that if anyone has questions, you could just put it up on the chat, or you could also just say it, it's fine. I'm gonna give, what time is it? Let's give another minute. Still have people here. Oh, Galia's here. Gabriella, hi. Oh, everyone's here. It's so much fun. Okay, so we're gonna start. I see we already have a question, which is fine. Okay, Tomics. Let's talk about Tomics. I know everybody got emails about Tomics, about having them for exams, semester Elul. I don't know yet about semester Aleph. Nobody knows anything. In terms of semester Aleph, I'm supposed to be getting the schedule tomorrow or Tuesday, so you guys will get it for sure by the end of the week. I already sent a few emails telling them that this is getting already, a little bit ridiculous and I need it, so hopefully it's gonna come. Tomics. Okay, I can't give a definite answer yet because I'm fighting this, and I know also that Minhal Studentim, like the Aguda of all the students, I know that they're also fighting this a little bit because nobody's happy with Tomics. I know that if you have an Apple computer, you can't download it, and that supposedly gives a lot of viruses, and that it can take over your computer, and that it does a lot of other things. Tomics. Oh, Naomi, you don't have to worry about it yet, but Tomics is, sorry, Naomi just asked. Tomics is a way to take exams online because you're not allowed to come to campus, where you take the exam and it's harder to cheat because everything is the camera watches you and writes down every little thing. And the Machon bought it, they paid a lot of money in order to use it as a way for students to take an exam who don't want to come to campus. Now, I just want everyone to know that the campus is going to be open for exams if you want and you can sign up to take the exams on campus, which I think for those who can, it's a great option. For those who can't and don't want to deal with Tomics, I have been in touch with Stuart. For those of you who know who Stuart is, he's like the head of our program. I've also been in touch with the rector, who probably doesn't like me so much anymore because I drive him so crazy. And I've been writing emails, I've been complaining, I've been saying how it's not fair, especially for our students, who most of them have Apples, and a lot of them are not in Israel, so they can't even have the option to come to campus, and if they can't download it, what are they supposed to do? So as of now, I haven't gotten a definite answer. I've just gotten a lot of hems and hums about what they're going to be doing. So for right now, I would tell everyone who can sign up to come to campus to be more sign up to come to campus. Those who can't, meanwhile, just leave it. I mean, we're still trying, and I really hope that it won't be topics that we're going to have to deal with. But like I said, I wish I had more definite answers. I don't. So that's kind of what we're dealing with right now. The minute I get a more exact answer, I'm trying to maybe get like an option where you could do Zoom and then maybe like kind of connect it to Tomix or send it in through there, whatever it is, but just that you're not all stuck with Tomix. But I can't promise anything. I'm gonna try. But those who could, again, those who could come to campus and are okay with it and are comfortable with it, then, you know, that's probably the easiest thing, is to just sign up to take it on campus, and then you don't have to worry. Now, I do want to say that as much as I'm going to fight for it and everything, there was definitely cheating going on. And I understand where the Machon is coming from, that they're being so hard on this because they feel like students took advantage. And I do know that there was cheating. And, you know, you guys are all adults and you're doing this degree because you want to know what you're doing. So cheating is obviously not going to really get you anywhere. So I'm going to just ask that all of you try to control yourself and try not to cheat. And then I could fight with you for you a lot more. Okay, let's go to our next question. Classes coming back to campus. Okay, so as of now, I mean, now everything's changing because they're starting with, you know, a red city, an orange city, a yellow city, things shutting down, things not shutting down. Until now, the Machon got the okay that they could have at least 30% of their students on campus at one time. So their plan was, or is, unless things change and get shut down, their plan is to, for students, it's very important for them to be on campus. So they're focusing on first students, and they're trying for at least 3 days a week for this first year students to come to campus and have a full day on campus. Now for second and third years, they're gonna try to do 1 to 2 days on campus and the rest of the ones on Zoom. For those who aren't coming back to Israel or can't make it back to Israel, even if classes are given on campus, they'll be recorded. I can't promise that they'll all be recorded at the time that they're being given, because we don't have so many classrooms that allow recording to be done at the same time that you can watch it and you can see the lecture and all of that. But it'll definitely be recorded and be put up, and you'll be able to watch it and you'll be able to stay on top of your classes. And when it's given on Zoom, obviously, then you can watch it on Zoom, or it's recorded automatically on Zoom. But as of now, they really are going to try to do at least 1 or 2 days for second and third year students and 3 days for first year students. That's really what they're trying to do. And especially our program, which is a smaller program, it's easier to do because you could fit in, you know, almost all of our students in one classroom without it being a problem. I think they're allowed up to maybe 24 students in a classroom, depending on the classroom. So really, for most of us, it works out. The women for sure, the men, most of the classes it does. So we really are trying to push for our program to have some on campus, because I do think it's important. And if it's okay by the government, then obviously it's okay by us. But, you know, we just have to wait and see what happens. Things change quickly, and we still have until after Sukkot. Okay, next question. I see a lot of emails from the Israeli department. Okay. Emails that you get in Hebrew. There aren't emails that you get. Unfortunately, as much as we've tried to keep it that you don't get these emails, you do. Now, a lot of them have to do with payment and have to do with things that you're only going to get in Hebrew, because I don't see those emails. I don't have anything to do with the finance department or the acceptance, you know, application department. I deal with that a lot with the women's program. I don't do that so much with the men, so I don't really get all those emails. So here's the thing. If you get an email that's talking about classes or courses or Elul semester, especially for the women, if it doesn't come in English or it doesn't come from me, ignore it. If you're getting an email from the finance department saying you need to pay something, or your LevNet is blocked, or, you know, there's something waiting for you, whatever it is, then I would say the best thing to do is to email it to me and to say, Tziona, is this something that I have to worry about? If it's something that you have to worry about, I'll translate it and I'll explain to you, you know, what the issue is and what they want from you. So I definitely think it's important to look at the emails. You just have to know what you're looking. If it says it's from Cheshbonot or from Harshama or from a Stal, then it's definitely something to look at. If it's from someone else and talking about courses and classes, if it's not in English and it didn't come from me, then I would say ignore it unless it looks like something super important to you and you know you really feel like it's something, then I would say then send it to me. It's not a big deal to send it to me. I look at it really quickly and I'll tell you, oh, this is really important. You need to do this. I'll be like, no, just ignore it. I'm sorry it came to you. Like that email that was sent out by Adionis for all of you guys, nothing to do with you. And for the women who got things about Elul semester, nothing to do with you. But if it looks like it's special for you, an individual email with your name, then definitely if you're nervous about not understanding it and you feel it's important, you're welcome to email it to me and I'll just look at it quickly for you. Signing up for, okay, what's next? Sign up, take exams on campus. So there was an email sent out, which I can resend to everyone with a little bit of English. I couldn't, it was super complicated, but you can sign up online. They send you a link. There was also, I think you could do it on your LevNet, but I'll check exactly how and I'll send it out to whoever needs it. If anyone did sign up for a campus one and they know how to do it and they want to put it up, please put it up, let me know. Rami, a Zoom exam. No, you're not going to be able to do a Zoom exam if they decide that everyone's doing it over Tomex. That's the problem. I'm trying to get them to allow our program, at least, to be able to take it over Zoom. Moodle is out, meaning no one's going to get the choice anymore to do it over Moodle and get like a pass-fail. They're not allowing anymore. That was really just special for when there was complete lockdown. So the two choices now are Tomex and Zoom. Zoom isn't on the table. I just want to put it back on the table for our program. And like I said, I'm really hoping to get it. Right now, it's not. Right now, they want everybody across the board to only do Tomex. So again, with that, I'm trying as much as I can to see what we could do. Zahava, guidelines for the dorms. I actually did get an email in Hebrew that I want to translate into English just about the dorms and coming in. I did hear that they only are allowed to have 3 girls. They used to be able to have 4 girls in a room. They now only can have 3 girls according to the guideline. They can only have a certain amount of girls in every room. There are guidelines. I did get the email. I will send it out to you. You can always, I see you saying you didn't hear back from Emunah, but you could always write her an email. She's really quick to respond. She really knows everything, but I will translate what I got from her and I'll send it out to all the women for the guidelines. And if you still have questions, you can email me. You can email Emunah, but I will get to that. It did come to me yesterday, so I'm going to send it out. I'm just writing it down for myself so I don't forget. For the men also, you should know that we did have all the dorm like rules and everything translated. So if you want those, Gabi Novik has the translation if any of you want it. Okay, next, if you need to, okay, so let's talk about quarantine for a minute. I know it doesn't apply to everybody, but let's talk about it because it's been an issue for quite a few of you. Okay. In terms of coming back to Israel, there are now 2 things. There's red countries and green countries. If you're coming back from a green country, which is England, Germany, there's a whole list. If you need me to check it for you, you could ask. Obviously, the United States is not a green country. That's a red country. Gibraltar is a red country because I know we have a few students from there. South Africa, I think, is a green country, but I'm not sure. I didn't check recently. Anyway, we could always check. You could check online. You put in green, red country, Israel, and it comes up and you can check. Now, in terms of quarantining, you have to quarantine in the Machon. There's no question. If you are coming on a visa and your visa is connected to Machon Lev, it says on your visa, student at Machon Lev, you have no choice. I wish you did. You have no choice but to quarantine in the Machon. There's no other thing. I sent questions, I begged. Not allowed. I can't get you an apartment. I can't get you an Airbnb. I can't get you a hotel. You need to stay in the Machon. We have special rooms. In Machon Tal, there's special apartments. In Machon Lev, there's special apartments. In Machon Lev, there's someone who takes care of it, called Naftali. He's amazing. He knows everything. You just have to write to me and ask me, tell me. Those who need the visa have written to me. I've sent them what they need. You need to go to your local consulate and take what I send you. I send you 2 documents, plus you need your Ishur Nivchan. You take it there, they give you your visa, they give you your permission to enter Israel, and that's all you need to come in. Besides that, before you fly, 24 hours before you fly, you have to go online. There is a special, I could send you the link if you can't find it. There's a special link that you have to press and you have to fill out a form 24 hours before coming to Israel. This form has to be filled out whether you're making Aliyah, whether you're on a visa, whether you're Israeli, anything, it has to be filled out. Now, if you're Israeli or you're making Aliyah, you have a choice to do quarantine wherever you want. You can choose the hotels because if you're Israeli, the government has to pay for you to go to a hotel. If you're making Aliyah, you can choose an apartment. You can also ask if you could do it with us, and I can work it out that you could do it with us, but you don't have to do it with us because you're not on a visa. If you are on a visa, you have to do it with the Machon. Now, if the Machon had apartments and had rented these apartments before we filled out all our forms that we sent to the government, we'd be able to put you in an apartment. We did it. Our quarantine places are in the dorms, either in Machon Tal or Machon Lev. Therefore, there is no choice to do it anywhere else. I know that people have said that they heard that there's apartments that other universities have done. No, it's only if the university before couldn't do it in the dorms, decided to rent apartments, put the apartments as the place where you can quarantine, and that's where you quarantine. We didn't. We did it in the dorms, and so you need to quarantine in the dorms. Now, the Machon has requested to try and come after Sukkot because it's super hard to do quarantine over Yom Tov. First of all, the person taking care of you is keeping Yom Tov, and he might want to go away to his family, so it's hard for him to help you. And second of all, it's hard for you to be alone, especially over Sukkot, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur. It's not fun to be in quarantine by yourself. The Machon asks that you please come after Sukkot. Obviously, if you want to come before, it's a possibility. I have a girl now who's in quarantine. She's doing fine. She's doing great. It's a possibility. But for those of you who don't want to be alone or don't want to get stuck over Yom Tov, I would tell you to try to come after. You can always do the first few weeks over Zoom. It's not a big deal. And that way you come after Yom Tov and you're not stuck Yom Tov by yourself. Now, it would be nice if you guys could do it together. Unfortunately, the law is that you have to come on the same flight in order to quarantine together. So for those of you who are planning on coming and do want to come and know when you want to come, I would love it if you would tell me when you were coming and where you were coming from so I could try to organize that you won't be alone, that you can quarantine with someone else. Maybe we'd get you on the same flight as someone else. I would really like to do that. I wish we could be more on top of it, but we're not a yeshiva, we're not a seminary, we're not doing group flights the way the yeshivas and the seminaries do, that they bring 30 students at a time, put them all in quarantine, and then bring the others. We don't do that. That's not what we are. We're a university. You guys are all adults, and that's not how we handle it. I would like to help everyone who comes that they don't have to quarantine alone. So if you are planning on coming and you know when you want to come, if you could just let me know, then we could hopefully try to work it out that you won't have to be alone during quarantine. Anyone who has any more questions about that is welcome to email me. I'll be in touch with them. I'll give them everything they need. The Moed Gimels, let's go back to that because there are questions here. Moed Gimel, when are they happening? I don't know. They're supposed to put up the schedule for Moed Gimel and Moed Meyuchad soon. They haven't. I wrote to Sarah Baim. I don't know if you guys know who she is. She's like the head of all the departments, all the secretaries, everything. She wrote that the schedule, they're trying to do as many Moed Meyuchads instead of Moed Gimels as they can, since that was what they promised us and promised our students. So they're really trying to do Moed. For those of you who don't know, Moed Meyuchad means a special Moed, which is hopefully sometime soon. A Moed Gimel means when the course is offered again, when the exam is offered, then you take it. So there are some students who are happy with that and want to take it as late as possible. But there are some students who really want to just finish up and take their exam now. So I think they're trying as hard as they can to give as many Moedei Meyuchadim that they can and not rely on the Moed Gimels. Saying that, I really hope that this week they're going to come out with it. But like I said, I nothing to do with it. I send emails every once in a while reminding them that students are waiting. They know students are waiting. I know also, again, that the Agudat Studentim, like the student union, is also talking with them about it. I know it's like an ongoing process. So you just have to be patient. I know it's really hard, and I'm really sorry. Beit Midrash program. Okay. This is something that I'm not so on top of, because really this is Gavi Novik's thing, dealing with the Beit Midrash. I do know that these really programs, they're planning on having it on campus, learning on campus. I don't know what was decided at the end with Rabbi Sharf, and if he's coming to campus to teach or if he's doing it on Zoom. I don't know. I will ask so that we can send out an email to you guys. There was an email that went out about the Beit Midrash scholarship for those who are trying to do the Beit Midrash scholarship. And that's really where I came in about all this, because I didn't want to send out an email that wasn't correct for you guys. Like if we weren't offering on campus Beit Midrash, then the scholarship is different. Either way, for those who do want to do the Beit Midrash scholarship and don't want to come onto campus, you still can get the Beit Midrash scholarship. It's just not 100% of the scholarship, it's 80% of the scholarship. And you do everything through Zoom, and you do your hours yourself, and they give you a special sheet where you put in your hours, so you don't have to slide your card the way you did before. So there are options. I don't know what they decide about the art program in particular in terms of if it's going to be on campus or not. So you're going to have to wait. I'm hoping that they'll come up with an answer sooner rather than later, so you guys could know. The course schedule, like I said, I'm hoping that it comes out this week. I did request it already a couple times. They told me Sunday, Monday. So I'm hoping by tomorrow. That's my hope. I can, always be optimistic. 1 second, my email address. I'll just put up my email address for you guys. Okay, 1 second. JCT.ac.l, that's my email address. Okay. 1 second. Let me just go back. I don't want to miss any of your questions. Okay, so the Beit Midrash program, the next one, schedule hopefully this week. Send you my thing. Next is, okay. Can someone from the US go to England for 2 weeks and go to Israel, not need to quarantine? Yeah, if you're coming from England, you don't need to quarantine. So you're welcome to do that. You just have to find out in England what they want you to do. I know that in England, you are supposed to go into quarantine, but it's not like Israel where they come check on you or drive you crazy about it. So you can totally do that. As long as there's a space where they see that you didn't just come straight from America and then go to England and Israel. If you take a 2-week break, I mean, I don't know the laws exactly, but I'm assuming if you were there for 2 weeks, then yeah, you wouldn't have to do quarantine. If you paid for the dorms, yeah, if you paid for the dorms and your name is down, it's yours, whether you come now or you don't. But I would tell you to be in touch with Emunah to see in terms of the dorms. But once you paid for the dorms, like you put your down payment for the dorms, the spot is yours, the room is yours, the bed is yours. Quarantine, when you come later, they're always going to have an apartment for quarantine, meaning on Mechon Lev and on Mechon Tal. I think there's always going to be an apartment for quarantine, since you never know if students themselves are going to have to go into quarantine for whatever reason, who live on the dorms, so they're going to need to go into quarantine, or for people who come back from places or whatever. So from what I understood, there's always going to be an apartment that's put on the side for quarantining of students. You would always be able to quarantine if you came later. Also, if you're Israeli, you could always choose instead to go to the hotels, which I heard are really nice. If you quarantined in Israel, do you have to do it again? No, if you landed in Israel and you quarantined, that's it, you're done, unless you left the country and then came back, obviously. Once you come to Israel and you do your 2-week quarantine, that's it, you're done, you're free, goodbye. I mean, unless something happens and you touch someone, you were with someone who had corona and then you have to go into quarantine. But the quarantine is for right when you land, for 2 weeks from the day you land, and then that's it. You're free, you're like anyone else, you can do whatever you want. Yes, you can totally stay off campus after you quarantine. There are plenty of students who aren't planning on living on the dorms. You only have to do the quarantine on campus if your visa is connected to Mechon Lev, and so that's where they designated the quarantining. So You don't have to be someone who signed up for the dorms to do quarantine in the dorms. That's where you have to do it if you're staying in if you're part of Machon Lev. Tomorrow, the school year starts October 14th. It's a Wednesday. In terms of orientation, I think we haven't completely come up with it. From what I spoke to Gabi, the boys are gonna have a Zoom orientation Tuesday night, like the 13th, where Gabi will explain to you all the important things that you need to know. And then I think on Wednesday, the 14th in the morning, he's going to do, whoever wants to come onto campus, he'll do an orientation for you on campus to show you the campus, to explain things to you, but not anything that if you don't come, you're gonna miss out too much. For the women, I'm gonna do the orientation. We're gonna do it on Tuesday, on the 13th, because we start our classes in the morning, unlike the men who start in the afternoon. So my plan is to do orientation Tuesday morning on campus for those who want to come. It's not gonna be too long, and we'll be moving and we'll go outside a lot, but it'll probably be for like 30 to 45 minutes, just because a lot of first-year students haven't even seen the campus, and just second-year students, reacquaint yourself, things like that, if you want to come. Obviously, orientation isn't really for you, so you don't have to worry. And then I'll do a quick orientation also over Zoom, explaining to you about LevNet and all those things which we can do online anyway, how to sign up for your classes for first-year students, but obviously any second-year students who want to join are welcome to. And then what else? Okay. Okay, Nathan Cohen. Okay, you got the forms. If you take those forms and you take your Ishur Limudim, like that says you're learning, if you go on LevNet, you could see it. It says that you learn in Machon Lev. You take these two forms and the Ishur Limudim, showing that you are a student in Machon Lev. You can find it on LevNet. If not, email me and I'll ask Ms. Tal to send it to you. You take that to your local consulate. Those two forms, plus the Ishur Limudim, they will give you permission to come to Israel, plus a visa. They will switch your visa and change it so that it's for Machon Lev. If you want to leave it for the yeshiva, then the yeshiva has to bring you in, and you have to do quarantine with that. If you want to do it through Machon Lev, you go to your consulate with those two forms that you were sent, plus your Ishur Limudim, and they will give you a new visa that says student at Machon Lev and permission to enter Israel. Okay? If you have any more questions about that, you can email me. The Beit Midrash scholarship, Shiva, is only for the men, unfortunately. That's not one that we have for the women, but we have other ones for the women. So don't worry about that. You can always ask me about those. I do want to tell everyone that there was an email sent out in Hebrew. There was an email sent out in Hebrew about scholarships that were not connected to the Machon. They're just scholarships for people who did the army, for volunteer hours. Like if someone wants to volunteer a certain amount of hours a year in certain places, they can get 10,000 shekels. There were all different types that it's not through the Machon, so I didn't translate it because I didn't get it. It went straight to the students. It's nothing that's to do with the Machon, but it is ones that if you guys are interested in doing, you can always ask me which one. It doesn't, you have to do volunteer work unless you're in the army, and then there was one that you don't. What was I saying? Yeah, so if you are interested in those, then I would definitely say you should look into those as well. Our scholarships open usually in November, and you fill them out online, and then you get the answer like a few weeks later. We also have special scholarships for those who aren't Israelis, so you have those for those who are students. Registration process, okay. The registration process for class for the first year students, if once a schedule comes out and I send it to you, you can try to do it yourself on your LevNet account. A lot of students don't want to do it. It's stressful to them. You wait, and on orientation, Gabi will help you make your schedule. The classes don't fill up because they're made special for our program. So they're made for all our students, and they're open for our students, and you can't it's not like a regular university where you get locked out of a class because it's full. You don't, because it's our special program, so it's made just for our students. So in terms of that, you don't have to worry. If you want to try to figure it out yourself, that's great. If you find it too difficult to figure it out, on orientation, Gabi will help you figure that out. If you have issues with that, you can always write to him. He'll take care of that. Sign up for the dorms, Shira, that's the women's. So really it kind of passed. I think they had 10 spaces left last time I spoke to Emunah. Emunah is the head of the dorms. You can email her to see if there's still space. Last time there was 10 spaces left, and I think it was closing up. Usually it's over by the end of July, but you're welcome to email her and see. Anything else students should do? Not that I know of. Usually Gabi sends you out an email telling you what you need to do, but if you paid your down payment and you paid for your dorm if you're staying in the dorms and you took care of all of that, there's really nothing. Once the schedules come out, then you could be in touch with Gabi and he'll help you set up your schedule, tell you, and he'll definitely send out emails to you guys when it gets closer about what to expect and what you're gonna need to do. Like I said, yeah, I don't know if there's spaces. You would need to ask Emunah, who's the head of the dorms. I really don't know anymore. Car parking for students. For the men, there's a car park right outside that I think anyone can park in. It's like a big empty lot and you can always find space there. For the women, I don't think so, but I don't know. I've never checked that out. I know that they have a special car park for lecturers. I don't even get parking space. So I don't think they have for students, but I can find out. I could send a question and ask. It could be that maybe, I mean, I know that there's parking there, but you would have to pay. It could be, if you're learning in Machon Tal, they could give you like a special thing that gives you a cheaper rate if you pay for it monthly. I'm gonna ask, I'm gonna see, maybe there is something and I'll find out for you. 1 second. If there is, I'll let you know. Okay, your student ID, usually you get it at orientation. The boys, Gabi gives it out. The women, I usually give it out. They sometimes print them out earlier and then you can come pick them up earlier. Like I can leave them out if it's important to get it earlier. Also, a lot of times you don't need your student ID. If you print out your Issue Nivchan, like you print out the paper that shows that you're a student in Machon Tal, you can use that to get your Rav-Kav until you get your card. I think the cards are usually printed out. I think they start printing them out now. If you have a special request, I'm sure I could request for your student card to be printed out and you could go pick it up. You could email me and like send me, your request and I'll send it in. I don't print it out. There's someone who gets it printed, but they have a machine on campus. So it's done like, as long as you send in a photo and you have a photo on your file, then they can do it right away. So you just have to let me know. For those who don't care, then you get it orientation, or they let you know when you can come pick it up. I think second year students and third year students, the women, we only have second year, I think the student union, like Agudata Student, I think has all the student IDs there and you could pick them up from there also. But I'll send a request to see exactly so that I can give you the correct answer. The campus libraries are open. The campuses are open. You can go to Machon Lev, you could go to Machon Tal. They're open all day. The lab, the computer labs are open. If you need to work on a computer and you don't have one, you can take out books, you can study, everything is open till, every day is a little bit different, but I think they're open till between 9:30 and 10. The Beit Midrash is open and the men's. The women Beit Midrash, I think, just opened some of it. So you could definitely go to campus if you want. In terms of Chaim, the one from the Army, I don't know, you have to email me privately and then I'll look it over. Like I have the email that was sent out by Israel to Catch about the scholarship. So if you want to look back in your emails and go to Israel to Catch, you could check what he sent about the different scholarships and you'll see when they're for people who are in the Army. If you are retaking a course, yes, there's always space. Don't worry. I think we're allowed up to like 35 in a course, so don't worry about it. You'll be able to fit in. So you don't have to worry if you're retaking a course. Don't worry. Just be in touch with Professor Engelberg. Those for the women who need to retake a course. Also the men, actually, just to make sure that you have it worked out and that he knows, because he's like working out what you should take, what you shouldn't, what you need to, what you could wait, things like that. You should really pay the first payment already now, the 2,200 shekels, your down payment. Until you pay that down payment, you don't have access to your LevNet, and you don't have access to a lot of things, and you won't be able to sign up for your classes. So I would say that anyone who hasn't paid the down payment should really try to pay a down payment now. And then also the monthly payment that they send out, like your credit card form or your bank account form, where they could take it every month, even if you made Aliyah, and the student services from the Aliyah department is going to be paying your tuition, you still need to put in bank details so that, first of all, the Machon can pay you back for the 2,200 that you gave, because that you gave before they started paying your tuition, the government. And also for other things, if you're staying in the dorm, that's not covered by the government. You need to pay that. And for any other things. So all of that information needs to be put in before the start of school, because if you haven't put that in, you haven't filled out your credit card details, you haven't paid, you haven't made sure that everything is done, you won't be able to sign up for your classes. And then you'll come the day of orientation super stressed out because it says that you're blocked from your account. So you should definitely try to take care of that. For the men who have any issues with that, you should write an email to Gabi and he'll help you. For the women, if you have an issue with it, please email me, we can talk about it. No, you don't need a JCT email. I don't think everyone uses their JCT email. A lot of students use their Gmail accounts. You don't have to use it. You could get one, you do get one, but you don't have to get one. That has nothing to do with anything else. Put with English speakers, but yes, if you request it. Yeah, she tries. Anyway, and we're now tries to at least put one other English speaker. There are some girls who requested not to be with English speakers. They requested to be with Israelis. If you request to be with English speaker, then she definitely tries very hard to put you at least with one or two other English speakers. Either way, she always tries, because she feels like you need at least one person who can speak your language. Studying the Army, I have no idea. That's really not something I deal with. You'd have to ask Gabi. I think Israel Takach, who's that of scholarships and things like that, might know, but I would write an email to Gabi and he'll send you in the right direction to figure out who can help you to make sure. I would assume that you need a letter from the Army saying that they're paying your tuition, if that's what you're saying, and then you send it to Mastal, like the student services, and then they put that in. For meals and plans for women, there's no, so let's talk about that for a minute. The meals, the men, I'm sure you all know because you spoke to Gabi and you looked at the campus, the men have a cafeteria, there's a fleshik one, there's a melchik one, the money is on your card, you slide your card and it goes straight on your account. In terms of it being open, it is supposed to open starting semester Aleph. You are supposed to be able to go in and get food. I don't know if you're able to sit there, because I think you can only have 20 people inside, or 10 people inside, 20 people outside, I'm not sure. But it is supposed to be opening from what I understood. I think Gabi is trying to find out for you. So I would wait on that, but it is supposed to be opening so you will have food. The women, they don't have a cafeteria. There's a small place where you can warm up food, get food. And there's a lot of places to get food all around that are all open, salad bars, cafes, everything. And if you show your student card, you get it for much cheaper. And they're all open. So in terms of that, you don't have to worry about food. Tuitions for Nola, Moshe, like I said, if you're making Aliyah, then the government pays for it, but you need to take care of that. You need to go to the Aliyah department. They send you to student services in the Aliyah department. There's a special department called student services. You go there with a letter showing that you're going to be studying in Machon Lev, and they write a letter saying that they promise to pay your tuition, you send that letter to Mastal, which is our student services, and they put it in your system, and then they don't take money from you, and they don't touch your account or anything, and the government sends it. But you need to make sure that you go to the Aliyah department and you speak to the student services and get that letter, because no one's doing it for you. It needs to be done. No one's just giving you money without you requesting it. First payment for second years in Horat Keva. You still need to pay your payment. You need to pay your 200. You need to now pay your first payment, Rami, of 2,200. And the Horat Keva, they're just going to do exactly what you put in. Unless things change, they're just going to use what's already on your account. Your student Ravkav, you can wait, Naomi. You don't have to get it now. They do it on campus. Ravkav, for all of you guys, everybody who wants a Ravkav. I'm not sure about the men how it works, but I'm assuming it works like the women. Ravkav comes to the campus, I think 3 times even during the first 2-3 weeks of school. They come with the machines and everything, and they give you your card and they explain things to you, so you don't have to do it alone. If you want to already do it now, then I would say you print out from your LevNet showing that you're going to be studying in Machon Lev, and you have to go to a Ravkav office and show it to them. But I would say if you're happy to wait, they're not going, meaning you're going to have to wait until you start anyway. So I would say wait, and they come to the campus, and it's much easier. So I would definitely wait to see, unless you really need it now. What is this, Shira? The Beit Midrash. We spoke about this. I'm not going to talk about this now, but everyone needs to take Midrashah classes. Everyone needs to take Jewish classes, men and women. That's part of being a Machon Lev and Machon Tal. For men, you do it in the Beit Midrash, or you do it in your own yeshiva, wherever you're learning. For women, you do it in the Midrashah. If you went to seminary, obviously we cut down the hours. We think about 2 classes per semester. That's what we're offering now. But if you have any more questions about that, you could be in touch with me privately. I think that answered everyone's questions. I did send out a letter, but I just want to say it again. Semester Aleph. Like I said, they're open to some on campus, some online. I spoke to the rector directly because I didn't trust getting answers from anyone, and I didn't want to get you guys to get screwed, and I just didn't want any mix-ups. And so I spoke to the rector and I said, I want in writing that no matter what, my students have their classes over Zoom and will be able to take their exams online if they are not in the country. And I have it in writing that you will all be able to take your exams online if you're not in the country, and that you will always be able to catch up your classes online, whether over Zoom or whether recording on Moodle, whatever it is. This is so that students who don't feel comfortable coming back, or students, first-year students who don't want to come yet because of everything that's going on, which is totally understandable. You will be able to do all your classes online, and you will, God willing, be able to take all your exams online. And I can't promise it'll be through Zoom and it won't be through Tomax, which is what the Machon bought in order to take exams, but you will be able to do it online, even if everything is offered on campus. Those who are not here will be able to take it online. I have that in writing. So I don't want anyone to stress or feel like they got stuck out of the country and couldn't do it, or they suddenly get towards the end. I know last semester we had this. You got towards the end of the semester and you were stressing out, do I need to come back to the country just for my exams? I don't want to miss my exams. You don't. Obviously, we'd love for you to come back and we'd love to have you here, but it's totally understandable if you don't want to and you want to wait. And so you don't have to worry, semester Aleph, you've got the okay to do everything online. Now, I did want to try and do your class. I mean, the men, your classes are in the afternoon. So even if you're not here, you can do it online at the right time. The women, unfortunately, their classes are in the morning. Now, this was done because it was how it was set up, that the classes are being given in the morning. I asked for a change. They're not going to change it this semester. So unfortunately, my students who are not in the country and do have to do it online, if you want to do it real time, it's going to be in really bad hours for you. But again, it's going to be recorded. It's going to be put up on the Moodle, so you could always catch up later if you want. I'm just going to look. 1 second. I'm just writing. I want to just make sure I have all the answers for everything. Let me see. The beginning, it was just everything. I recorded this whole meeting, so anyone who wants to hear me talk for so long is welcome to request it. And I'll send you a recording after this is done. After it's put up on a YouTube thing, then I can send this to you and you can listen to everything. You don't even have to extend your Horat Keva, Rami. Sorry, people, about Horat Keva and Ping. I think it's just there. Unless you put like an end date on your bank and then you just have to do it through your bank to open it up. If you just did Horat Keva from a Chom Lev without an end date, you don't need to renew anything, from what I understand. But if you want to, you can write to Cheshbonot. It's called I'll write to you. I think it's Cheshbonot at jct.ac.il. Lectures in real time. Yes, we're hoping we have the classroom that we have for the women at the moment allows us to do real-time lectures, from what I understand. So for those that are given on campus, we're hoping that it'll be on real time. And then for those who aren't, it'll be anywhere on campus. If you're not in the country and the real time for you is a really bad time, like 3 o'clock in the morning, then either way it's going to be recorded and you can always go up and it'll be put up on the Moodle and you'll always be able to watch it later. But I'm hoping to have as many of the campus given courses real time for those who can't make it to campus. Payment for second year, like I said, I think if you already put in your Horat Keva, they just use the same thing. You don't have to renew anything. You don't have to do anything unless there's a change in your credit card, in your bank account or something. Otherwise, it does it automatically. Unless you got like a letter from Cheshbonot saying that they couldn't take anything, the Horat Keva stays exactly the same and you don't have to change anything. They don't expect you to change anything. Once you fill it out, it stays with you for the whole 3 years, your payment plan, unless you want to change it. And then you have to be in touch with them to change it. I'm trying to think if there's any other questions that I wanted to cover. In terms of Tomax, like I said, guys, I'll try to get you an answer this week. And I'm hoping, again, the schedule for semester Aleph, I'm hoping to get tomorrow or Tuesday. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Cheshbonot will take an American bank account. I asked them, I'm trying to remember. No, you can't do a Horat Keva from a bank account. You could give them an American credit card. Horat Keva doesn't work for American bank accounts. They can't just take it out of your American bank account. You have to give them a credit card. It could be an American credit card if you want. Gabriella, I'm actually going to open one now. I was waiting to have all the women who signed up in one list, and I'm going to do a chat for all of you, a WhatsApp group, and then you'll be able to make your own WhatsApp groups after for different courses, different that. But I will open up probably by the end of this week a WhatsApp group for all of you, for all the women, so that we can all be in touch. And then I think all the boys also have WhatsApp groups, and I think Gabi opens up for the new year as well, so you guys can all be in touch. It's really, really important, and especially now with Corona and things not being on campus and you not meeting as much, and I know part of being a student and part of the whole experience is coming to campus and sitting and schmoozing and, figuring out things together. So again, like I said, even if the classes aren't on campus, the campuses are open. You can use the computer labs to work together. You can use the library to study together. All those things are still open to you, but I definitely think it's important to be part of a WhatsApp group or something so that you feel like you're part of it and you know what's going on and you feel like you made friends and you know who your peers are. That's why I feel like orientation for first year students to come to campus if you can is super important, because you're putting a name to a face, and then if you are talking over WhatsApp all the time and Moodle all the time and Zoom all the time, you know who you're talking to and who you're dealing with, and you find the people that you get along with and you can study with them, and you feel part of it. We actually have great women starting this year. We also have great guys starting this year. So I think you all can, get together and work together, even if you're not on campus all the time. Hebrew classes, I don't know, Benji. I'm not sure. You're talking about Ulpan. I did want to tell everyone that Ulpan is offered in the women's. I'm not sure about the men. You'd have to ask Abby. Women's, we do have Ulpan offered every Thursday in the afternoon. You guys finish early on Thursday, usually about 11:45, so you have time to do it. We do have Ulpan offered for those who want to take it. It is at an extra cost, but very low. And if you made Aliyah, I think it might be covered by the government as well. So that's something that you would look into. I don't know if they're going to be over Zoom. Maybe they'll just be over Zoom. Maybe they won't be on campus at all. And then they would be recorded. I'm not completely sure, Benji. Israeli classes. Yeah, I think everything is supposed to be recorded, but I can't say for sure because I only work with the English speaking program. There is a free coding class, yes, for the women. I think for the men too, but I don't know because, like I said, I don't have as much. Yes, the She Code, it's called. They actually used to come on campus. I don't know if they still are now with everything, but I know that they were opening again because I saw them open. You don't need to register in advance. Once you come, you could go to them. They have an office on Beit HaTzvus, which is like the road that Machon Tal is on. And besides that, they now have a place in the Machon itself. I'll explain it in orientation. You'll get a whole thing. You anyway can't start before. You can only start once you've started. But yes, you can take coding if that's what you're interested in. It's free, and it's super helpful for those who are into it. We also, I'm sure you guys heard, we do the hackathon, which is offered every year. We did it even though there was Corona, where all different companies come and they ask for solutions to issues or problems. A lot of it was Corona related this time. And everyone gets together from the computer science department and tries to come up with solutions. And I love it when our program joins. Yes, it's all in Hebrew, but computer programming is, a universal language. You don't need to know Hebrew completely, and it's really good. And you get to see all these different companies and you get to be part of it. And it's really interesting. So it's definitely something that I would tell you guys to look out for. It doesn't happen until later. The boys hackathon usually happens around Hanukkah time, and the women's hackathon usually comes around June. So you all have time. So it's not something you have to worry about now. That's basically it. For those of you who need help with your visas, quarantine, and all that, and you didn't get the forms that you need, then you just have to email me and I'll send them. I had a list of students who I knew needed help with visas. It could be I didn't have all of you. So like I said, please send me an email. I'll send you the forms. I'll explain to you what you need to do. And we'll go from there. And again, like I said, if you want to email me and tell me when you're coming and where you're coming from, so we could try to find a couple of you to come together, that would also be great. And that's basically it. I hope to have answers to whatever I didn't have answers to by the end of the week. And I'll just send an email to all of you because I can't remember who asked what and where and everything. So you'll all get answers to things. If you're not interested in reading it, obviously don't read it. Some of it will only be for the women, some of it will only be for the men. But I'm going to try to get answers to cover the questions I didn't know the answers for, especially like, Beit Midrash, scheduling, things like that, all those things. And if there's anything else, you're welcome to write to me now. Otherwise, I'm going to end the Zoom, and I'm hoping to see you all really soon in person. And if not in person, then I guess on Zoom again. Though all of you don't have your camera on, so I can't get to see any of you. So I guess, and then for all the women, I'll get to see you hopefully in orientation. I hope I answered all your questions. And again, really, please be in touch with me. And I want you to know you're not bothering me. When you send me an email or when you call me or when you send me a WhatsApp, if I'm in the middle of something, I don't answer the phone. And if I'm doing something else, I won't answer your email right away. But even if it takes me a couple of days, your email, I don't forget about your email. Your email's there and I leave it there. And I always try to get back to you. Obviously, sometimes I forget. You guys know, a lot of you know that sometimes I forget to follow up. Always write to me again. Never apologize for being crazy or for bothering me. That's what I'm here for. I really want to try to just help you as much as I can. I can't always. I'm up against a big wall of the Machon, but I'm really trying for as much as I can. So really, don't ever feel like you're bothering me, because that's really, really not, Okay, guys. I hope you all have a good, Rosh Hashanah, Shana Tova, K'tzar Chatima Tova, good Gebench Yor, and for all the first year students, October 14th, your first day, you'll get emails. Don't worry, and we'll be in touch about everything else. All right. Oh wait, let me just see. Okay, no, we're good. No more questions. All right, everyone. Good night. Speak to you later.